Hazel Miriam was a young Australian actress treading the boards in theatres such as The Palace in Bourke Street, Melbourne. In 1916, aged just 16, she left Australia for Sunset Boulevard and the bright lights of Hollywood. She never came back. Jenny Cowen has been piecing together the life of this young girl, whose existence had almost been forgotten. Hazel's mother, Celia, was Jenny's great-aunt, and she prompted Jenny's investigation.
I only discovered Hazel's mum a few years ago, and nobody in the family could tell me anything about her, and as far as I'm concerned, that is just such a no-no. I have to know. Celia married in 1900. Hazel was born in 1901. That's her first child. The marriage was an absolute disaster, and Celia separated from William and she took up with a gentleman, an American vaudeville entrepreneur called James Brennan. Now, they never married, so that was absolutely scandalous.
James Brennan, vaudeville promoter, racehorse owner, bookmaker and theatre builder. One theatre built by James Brennan still remains, the Palace Theatre on Bourke Street in Melbourne.
Hazel appears to have started acting as early as the age of 14. Her life must have been quite nomadic. She was following James Brennan and her mother around. She was appearing in prestigious Shakespearean productions, and those theatre productions were really a very high standard. In 1916, I found a Hazel Brennan on a manifest of ancestry. At that stage, I'm tracing a Hazel Brennan, and I'm not sure whether this is my Hazel, because she should be Hazel Ford. The clincher for me was that when I looked at that manifest, her next of kin was her mother, Mrs. James Brennan, but it was care of Mendelssohn Studios in Melbourne. And that, to me, was just the most important moment, because Mendelssohn Studios is my grandparents' studios. So I knew I had my Hazel. I then found out, to my amazement, that her career really did take off. And I found that she did act in 2 silent movies, but then the trail goes absolutely cold. The next thing that I found about her was her death certificate, and she died in Orange, California in 1980. It's really important to me, now that I've taken this trip with Hazel so long, I want to know what she looked like. I want to know what she sounded like. I want to know if there's any film out there of Hazel. I want to know that Hazel was really all right, because she's part of my family. I've got to find what has happened to my Hazel.